dad is there, or why your dad is not there. And I was like, oh, that's right. Because he voted for the other guy.
Wow.
I know the dude. I ain't voting for him.
He got voted in despite the skeletons I know are in his closet.
Yeah, he wanted no part of endorsing his own son. Yeah.
That's all right. He didn't get to come to the party.
Yeah.
Must make Thanksgiving dinner a tad awkward, though, I would think.
Yeah, it was always a bit awkward because every holiday, with my folks living in the town, my dad especially would bring up his concerns, and he pushed and pushed and pushed. We didn't have a storm siren on his side of the town, and he felt it was necessary to get one. Actually, one of my big accomplishments, my last year, I was able to get the storm siren on the other end of town for him. He was thrilled, and Christmas was great for me that year. I'm so sorry. I'm basically just taking this thing over here, but I'm not letting you interview me. Can I tell a story, or do you want to ask me a question?
No, hell no. It makes it easy for us, man. We'll just sit here and listen.
Stories are great.
All right. Yeah. So my brother-in-law, chief of police in his hometown, and he's the actual chief of police, not the de facto because it's the mayor. But so one night, my other brother-in-law coaches high school basketball in the same town. My father-in-law keeps the books, so he's there too. So they asked me to announce the starting lineups for the high school basketball game. This was a little over a year ago. And I'm reading just this little template thing that I have. And I say, please rise for the playing of our national anthem. And then the high school kid who's supposed to play the CD goes, hey, I can't find the CD. You're going to have to sing it. And I was like, I'm not going to sing it. You sing it. And he goes, oh, I only have one job, and that's to play the CD. And, I'm not saying. And I go, okay, you have one job, and you can't even do that. You are worse than a bad NFL kicker. And so I hear everybody laughing, and I figure out, oh, I'm arguing with this kid with my mic on. So everyone in the gym here. And so I'm trying to bribe him. And I was like, come on, man. I bribe him like he's my own kid. I was like, hey, if you sing it, I'll buy you something cool from the concession stand. He's like, no. And then somebody yells out, well, somebody better sing it or I'm going to take a knee. So now, as I mentioned, my father-in-law is there, who is Vietnam vet, lost part of his leg in the war, takes great offense to this, right? So what does he do? He pops off his prosthetic leg, hits the guy in the head with it. And so now this big melee ensues. Everything, finally everything goes crazy, and that's how 2020 started. But after everything settles down, people want to know how the story ends. So the high school kid goes, oh, hey, that's my bad. The CD was already in the player. But then, so a lot of people think, oh, well, your father-in-law must have got in some trouble because, he beat a guy up in front of, he hit a guy. Well, as I mentioned, his own son was the chief of police of the town. So no charges filed.
And the nepotism begins. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, man.
All right. So the book is out or is coming out?
It just released last week.
Oh, fantastic. And available Amazon, local bookstore, anywhere you buy?
Yeah, all the big prominent stores have it. I'm not certain about, the smaller retailers, but I know Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walmart, all carry it. The ebook or the Kindle, whatever you call it, is available also. Book on tape is coming at some point. The problem is I'm doing it myself and can't figure out the technical requirements.
I'm sure somebody in your family knows.
You're halfway there, man.
Right.
Jeremy will go down not only as the only comedian mayor we've ever had, but also the best microphone we've ever had for golf as a funny game. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah. I got the professional microphone stuff going on. You know, I've done a lot of professional voiceover and, podcast myself. And so, try to keep the high quality. The problem is the powers that be in the book on tape world, they have very specific requirements and specific lingo. I have no idea what they're talking about. And I've even asked people that are like sort of audio gurus, and they're like, I don't know. I don't know. So
that's when they told me my first book, and they said it has to be at minus 16 lufs. I went, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
You know, I've been talking into microphones since I was 16 years old. I've never heard of a luff. I don't know from luffs, man. I'm sorry. I don't.
What is a luff? It sounds like a move I tried on my wife the other day. You know?
Oh, more shameless self-promotion, man. Not only this phenomenal book is available, but what else you're doing? You got the podcast. What else going on, man?
So as Mike mentioned earlier, we got the Dry Bar Comedy Special. That's largely free on most platforms. So if you just search for my name on there, you can see that. My Amazon Prime special is out there right now. Who's With Me is what it's called. So you can just search for me on Amazon Prime. I think I get $1 every time somebody watches that.
Oh,
so
cool.
if you guys could just sit there and refresh the screen.
Not a
You know, I'll
problem.
bet you in your town you've got a lot of people just going by people's houses, plugging and unplugging, plugging and unplugging.
Yeah, I had an issue with that last year. My neighbor kept unplugging my Christmas lights, and I was like, come on, man. And he said, well, why don't you just plug them in at your own house?
Hitting the road anytime soon, or are you too big for like Comedy Caravan in Louisville, Kentucky these days?
You know what? I would love to get back in the Comedy Caravan. That's not on my calendar. So I do a lot of private events. I mainly do a lot of sort of like corporates and fundraisers, churches, stuff like that. But there is a big public event coming up in August, suburb of Kansas City, Saturday, August 21. It's called Be the Best You. And it's this big corporate conference thing where folks come and get inspired and be motivated, and lots of great speakers. And I'll be one of them there.
Cool.
I'm probably the only one that's going to make a joke out of everything. They'll be like, this was supposed to be serious. And I'm over there. Yeah. You ever fart so hard you had to take a nap? But I think if you Google Be the Best You can get some more info on that for August in Kansas City.
Yeah, probably be the only talk that people will not walk out of.
Jeremy, thanks for being with us today. We really appreciate you being here on Golf is a Funny Game from the Approach Shot.
Attention anyone who is impacted by the current pandemic and has $2,000 or more in credit card debt. If any credit card companies extended your credit with attractive interest rates or low minimum balances, and now because of it you owe thousands of dollars in credit card debt, here's some really great news. It happened to millions of people at no fault of their own. But thanks to a powerful program now approved, anyone with $2,000 or more in credit card debt can cut their credit card payments up to half and reduce or eliminate interest charges altogether. That's right. Our nationwide nonprofit program is helping U.S. residents cut their credit card payments. We've helped over 500,000 people with their credit card debt, and now we can help you. Bad credit card debt happens to good people. Get free of credit card debt today.
Call Credit Guard of America now at 800-672-6925 to see how this powerful nonprofit program can work for you. The call and information are free. Call 800-672-6925. That's 800-672-6925. 800-672-6925.
Okay, I mean, did we deliver? Did we deliver?
Totally delivered, like a mailman in the snow.
Jeremy Nunes, absolutely hilarious dude. And you're right, we do have to have him back.
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
it beats having to find
and
another.
hopefully he will actually return our emails, return our request, and return to sender. Sorry, it's a mailman thing. And
Yeah.
Elvis then all wrapped up.
Gotcha. And Joe, if you ever need anybody to round out your foursome, call me.
You know, I'd want to be his travel agent, but I just don't think he needs me to mess up his itinerary. So let's just let sleeping dogs lie there.
You know, he was rather closed-mouthed when we asked him his technique about how do you get on all these courses. It's kind of like, I manage. Yeah.
But then again, when it came time for me to talk about booking a trip to Italy for me and my wife, he was vociferous.
Yes.
Jumped right in.
Funny how that works.
So, I think he's a pretty smart guy.
There are some secrets he will share.
There are indeed. And you know what? The idea of having somebody on who we can be that jealous of just makes us look like better men. That shows we want to improve ourselves. We want to do better.
We just want to learn his scam, man. That's what we want to do. That's the reason I had him on. I don't know about you, but listen, next week, 2 more very good guests. Very funny. I think it's time for another edition of Bad Jokes, Dad Jokes with Bret Hart next week.
This is made for us. Bad and dad.
Because we're both. We are both. Keep in mind, golf was invented by the same people and called a game that invented bagpipes and called it music.
So true. And remember, too, life is a gift. Go open it.
You've been listening to The Approach Shot with the Weekend Golf Guys. If you like this week's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts. And find us on the web at approachshot.net.